So we've done Bill. Well, I say we've done Bill. We've met Bill and Kathy and Earl. We've had an amazing evening. And what are your thoughts now getting ready for your week off?
Organising, relaxing, organising.
Amazing week off, hey?
That's the aim today. That's the aim tomorrow. That's the aim for the rest of the week.
So with the EMP Awards going out, or the nominations being announced next week, what are you looking forward to?
Looking forward to reviewing them all, checking out the ethical responses in every application and seeing exactly what people are doing for the world of mental health.
It's been 3 years since, and this will be the third set of awards. What do you think has changed since we started them?
I think that there's been, interestingly enough, a huge amount of appreciation of people actually following the standards that we actually set. So I'm seeing changes in different organisations, and I can see that many of the things that APRA has done are literally being copied. And if they say copying is a form of flattery, it is to a big degree. So if we've done anything, we've created changes in the world of mental health. And for me, that was the aim of APA, and that's what we intend to keep on doing. Whether or not it's through people copying, duplicating, it's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, they are. So I'm even thinking of No Name and No Shame. It's a good example of one of the changes that we've seen happen.
And when we see companies that are increasing their ethical approach, and that coming through the awards process, and we've had some amazing previous winners, and the new kind of batch since COVID really of companies that have really taken a new approach to mental health. That's got to have a massive impact, hasn't it?
It has. The pandemic exploded the world of mental health. I've been in it for 20 years now. But to see it on the news, actually the words appreciating your mental health and being aware of your mental health, that's never happened. So that was something that was utterly horrendous, which was the pandemic. One thing that I've seen that's come out of it that's been incredibly positive is a recognition that our mind is the one thing that we can control and the one thing that we need to keep healthy. And there's multiple ways of doing that. There isn't anybody in the country, anybody in the world that doesn't need the self-awareness that they could have if they were taught appropriately. And for me, the more people that actually recognise who they are, why they react, learn not to react, learn to respond, understand where and how they've gotten to where they are, then the better world we will live in. It's that simple.
And companies taking that kind of lead with their teams, but with small businesses, it might be the actual owner making those changes, and that's better for the bottom line, isn't it?
It's better for everybody. They say happy staff are happy profits. Naturally speaking, if people feel appreciated, they do more. If people are understood and empathised with, they work harder. If people are happy and content in work, they automatically enjoy what they're doing. If they enjoy what they're doing, they put more emphasis into what they're doing. On the back of that, it's like a win-win situation for everybody. And the more companies that actually appreciate the mental health of their staff is the most important aspect of their entire business, then the more they'll actually reap the profits of that in a financial way. But it's so important, and this is the trick, not doing it for the finances, doing it from a genuine place of understanding and appreciation. And on the back of that, then it pans out. When it's done with an agenda, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. When it's done with an agenda, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back of that, then it pans out. And on the back never pans out in the way. It's almost like the world knows that you have an agenda, so it shuts you down. Whereas actually when you haven't got an agenda and you come from a really genuine place of just wanting your staff to be happy and content in work, then it works. And that's the kind of nuance of the psychological part. It has to be genuine.
Well, so it's really kind of telling that you pick up on that from where we're sitting right now. The Radisson Heathrow is where I designed their induction program nearly 21 years ago, and that was very much based on that psychological baseline, building that up so that as employees come into a business, they've got that grounding right from the beginning. And it's something that the company here has maintained since then. And you've seen the repercussions of that over the last 12 hours or so.
I can honestly say the staff here are absolutely excellent in the way that they approach you, the way they respond to you, the way that they cater to you. It doesn't take much to appreciate another human being, and ultimately when you can do that through customer care, then it automatically, I arrived here and my first thought was, there's no balconies, and that's a thing with me, and I'm very well aware of that. But actually leaving here, I'd recommend this place as somewhere to stay because the service is absolutely excellent, and that's something that's been missed in the last decade, the art of customer care. It has to be genuine, it has to be real, but if you don't look after your customers, they don't come back. If you don't look after your clientele, they don't recommend. For me, it's so logical. Give out what you want to get back. Give out the positives and you'll get the positives back. And the truth of the matter is, most of the time, that's absolutely exactly how it works.
Yeah, and service without servitude is one of the things that we've talked about within APA as moving from membership body to membership service and making sure that members understand that service is the key to what we do.
Absolutely, it's not take. It's what can we give? How do we work together? How do we collaborate? What can we provide for people? And at the same time, help them recognise that actually we do give a damn. And I speak from experience. And I'm very proud to say this, and I'm sure most people don't believe a word that I say when I say this, but the truth of the matter is my private practice is built on my care for clients, as well as all my training and my qualifications, But it's ultimately built on the fact that the people I work with know that I have a genuine sense of care for their well-being. If you haven't got that, it'll never work in the way that you truly want it to.
You end up becoming reliant on other revenue streams in order to maintain the bit that you want to.
Absolutely. People then go out and you see advertising, you see tons and tons of reviews. Now, I don't have an issue with what anybody else does, but if someone can find multiple reviews of my own private practice, they won't find them. I think there's probably 2 in 20 years that I discovered because somebody wrote to me and said, hey, I'll put a review up. But you know what? I don't ask them for anything, and yet every single week I am completely snowed under with clients, and that is testimony to 20 years experience, but also because I actually do care about the people I work with. I want them to reach the potential, and I know it's not about me, but they're there to want the same. That's why they come to see me, to reach their full potential in life and enjoy their life.
And that's what the process is. And I think the triad of understanding that APA operates with the client, the professional and the membership service makes a real difference.
It does, because actually you end up not really needing to push for work, if you like. I don't do... My website is out there, but I don't do anything with it. Nobody sees me advertising, but it's important to remember it took me a time to build my own personal reputation. And that reputation is built on care, excellent supervision, brilliant supervision, I might say. And for me, when you work ethically and you come from a place of your heart, and it's a vocation, it's not a job. For me, it's never been a job. It's been put my heart and soul into what I want, which is my clients to be happier and more content and more able to navigate life's traumas, because we have them all the time. I'd be more than happy to go into therapy at any given time in my life. If I need it, I'll take it, because it's not about always having a problem. Sometimes it's about having the space to just be. And that's an incredibly important aspect of therapy that often gets missed, the space to just be. Say anything you want to say and be completely accepted within whatever it is that you say.
Yeah. I want to say a massive thank you to you for pretty much everything. um, that goes without saying. But what has come to pass over the last 3 years is something that I think not only stands ourselves in a good stead, but it stands every qualified professional in good stead to have that support service that, in essence, you've shaped and you've built. And while all of those functionalities happen behind the scenes, and as you know, a lot of people will appreciate, there's a lot that goes on that isn't public and or won't be public until the time is right, but there is an awful lot happening that makes sure that those professionals are supported when they need it, and that's a phenomenal legacy, so thank you.
Well, thank you, because ultimately, David, I can't do it without you, and it's a bit like the client and therapist. We work together, we can't do it without each other working together, and that's really important. So I appreciate every single member that recognises paying into systems that help collude with the systems that they're so frustrated with, are learning to put their money in a different pocket, but get something back. Actually get something back for what they're giving out.
Yeah, and that giving back as a service, when members can share their knowledge, their understanding, and receive financial recompense for that. They don't have to put on an event to share that information and do all of the logistics to go along with that. They can actually just share their learning on the peer learning platform. And that's downloadable, that's something that they get paid for. But it's not the only way, is it?
No, we also have assessors that will be paid for their time in assessing new memberships that come in, which is a great way of being able to give back and utilise their skills in another way. We have the supervisory, emergency supervision. But for me, one of the most important aspects of our emergency supervision is its access to a really, really good, experienced therapist. And for me, that applies to everybody. Anybody that joins our membership, right down to any parent that needs to be aware of the best parenting techniques to help their own children by having access to an individual within 24 hours. Because I know, even in my own private healthcare, it takes me 3 weeks to speak to a professional. We provide it within 24 hours, and credit where credit's due. I'm ridiculously proud of that.
And I suppose the last point, we've got just over a minute left. The benevolent fund. Go for it.
The Benevolent Fund was created on the back of my understanding through my own experience of going from really well paid in private practice, and I have done incredibly well, to actually nothing overnight due to cancer. And it was a trap that I fell into myself. So actually allowing us to have a benevolent fund because nobody helped me. You know, I had to plough through a year of being off work and going to from really good living, if you like, to almost nothing overnight on benefits. As a CEO, I totally understand. There's times when I've had nothing in my pocket, and there's times when I've had enough money to walk into a shop and think I don't have to think about the price. And being in those two places is an amazing thing to remind people there is a benevolent fund. We'd love you to donate, because truth be told, if we can help somebody else along the line that runs into a financial difficulty, that makes my day, because I didn't have that. So I want to give what I didn't have to other people.
Yeah, and that benevolent fund is open for donations. As soon as that fund reaches a practical level, and APA takes no penny from that, does it?
No, because we see it all the time. You know, people donate, I don't know, £50 to an organisation, and actually £1 might end up in the pocket of somebody that actually needs it. So for us, we wanted to do it the opposite way around and prove that there's a different way, and you can do it differently, and you can give back, and it's okay to give back.
And just one last point, I suppose, on kind of the financial protections, everything else, the collaboration with 3 Pillars Financial Planning, which gives that guidance and advice about how to protect income, how to protect the insurances, everything else, is something that, you know, it's a level of support and advice and guidance that just doesn't usually get talked about within the arena, is it?
No, I think there's so many things that aren't even talked about, right down to that very first call from a client, us having an answering machine that we don't have. We have human beings that answer the phone. One of my personal gripes, and I guarantee it's most other people's, ring an organisation, 20 minutes later, 15 minutes later, you might get to speak to a human being. We believe, and I always believe this with my private practice, the quicker you interact with a human being, the less frustrated that person is by the time they've got to you. So just having somebody instantly answer the phone, whereas so many therapists, and I understand why they do it, I really do, but so many therapists undo themselves with having an answer machine, because I work with serious trauma. Most people would never leave those details on an answer machine.
And
humans.
they may only have that opportunity to speak when they make the call. So receiving a call might not be a safe space for them, and it can open up kind of re-traumatization triggers, can't it? So look, have an amazing week. Enjoy your time as much as you can. I know there's, you know, away from clients, but you're still going to be doing bits and pieces, but enjoy the rest as best you can, and hopefully we'll speak on camera again as we get closer to the nominations coming out next week.
And I just want to say to people, I wasn't prepared for this video at all. David picked up his phone and went, let's do something, and I didn't realise he was even going to record and throw all these questions at me, but there you go, he's done it, and I'm glad that I've gotten through this unexpected, hey, let's do this. So please take care of yourselves.
Grabbing time with you is like gold dust, so when the opportunity is there, we need to take it. So thank you, enjoy your time, and for everyone else, hopefully we'll see you in another conversation very, very soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.